What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we do upload PvP content every single day, so please consider subscribing if you're into that type of content. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of matches in this set in which we lost the lead and still managed to find a way around it. So this first matchup here is against Rekka, and we are leading with the Azumarill, and we're running Play Rough instead of Ice Beam. Ice Beam probably is the preferred moveset, however, I like Play Rough just for the mirror match, especially in the lead spot. I want to win that matchup. So here we face Meganium, obviously a horrible lead for us. We're going to switch out into the Tropius. It looks like our opponent's actually staying in this match, but he did manage to switch into the Alolan Marowak there, which it did not show on the screen. So Alolan Marowak obviously is going to be doing super effective damage with the Fire Spin, quick move. But we're still chunking away here with the Leaf Blades. And if this is a Bone Club, we would survive, obviously. If it's a Shadow Ball, it's going to do a lot of damage, almost KO. And we're able to get off one more charge move. I actually don't click it, we did have it ready, but a little misstep there on my part in the Azumarill here. And that may have been better for us because we will be able to farm here unless he switches back into the Meganium. And if he does switch into the Meganium, he'll lock himself into that match in which we could bring the Charizard. He doesn't, so this is most likely going to be a Bone Club here, so we're definitely going to let it go through and expect the Meganium to come back out. Trying to instantly switch into the Charizard, but he gets off the move. I was trying to catch that with the Charizard. This is going to be a Frenzy Plant, so we're going to have to burn a shield here. And now we're down 2 shields, and our opponent brings in the Registeel. So this is a pretty decent situation for us. We're going to go for the Dragon Claw here. Obviously, because he has Meganium in the back, he does not want the Charizard to face that, so he's most likely going to burn both shields here, even on Dragon Claws. And this will not KO the Focus Blast. It's going to do a lot of damage though. And at this point I'm over farming a little bit. Going to go for the Dragon Claw. And I will be able to get to another Blast Burn here. He does choose to shield that. We get to the Blast Burn. And this is going to KO the Registeel. The Meganium is going to come back in. And it's going to have to use its energy to get rid of this Charizard. Otherwise we'll be able to farm down. So because it's going to burn its energy here, Azumarill is going to come back in with energy stored. We don't have Ice Beam, which would have been an instant KO, but we do have Play Rough. And at least in this range, Play Rough will be enough. So we got fortunate there to win that match, despite losing the lead. Hard counter there that we came back from. Ian Kikaspada next, and he's in the Stunfisk. Stunfisk, very popular pick lately, running Thunder Shock and Discharge. So we're going to instantly switch into the Tropius here. And we get mirrored by another Tropius, so we're going to go for the Aerial Ace, which is going to be super effective. And Tropius is going to let that go through. And here I do have the energy lead. And we do have some energy on the Azumarill here. But what I'm trying to do here is pretty much milk this switch clock to see if I can bring it to the point in which I could switch out. In this particular situation, it doesn't look like it. But because Air Slash charges energy so quickly, there are going to be particular situations in which that will happen. Now, he did shield and went for a Leaf Blade there. Looks like he may have undercharged possibly to farm a little. I bring the Charizard instantly. It's going to KO. And I expect the Stunfisk to come back out because those discharges are going to do a lot of damage. So this isn't the best situation for us, but we do have 2 shields. And I'm going to commit one here and go for the Blast Burn. And let's see if the Stunfisk chooses to shield this or not. It chooses to let it go, which is going to be pretty big for us, but we did have a shield anyway, so we would have probably got to another Blast Burn as well. But this is going to put us in a much better situation here. I'm going to switch into the Azumarill, looking to farm down, but he actually has his own Azumarill, so I'm going to bring my own Azumarill back in, and he does have the shield advantage. However, let's see if he's running Play Rough, because if he's running Ice Beam Hydro Pump, we're going to be in a very favorable position here, even with the shield disadvantage. But what we have to remember here is that the Stunfisk is in the back with very low health, and he's probably going to try to make up for this Play Rough Ice Beam difference by sack swapping the Stunfisk. So we have to be aware of that. So how are we going to monitor that? Basically, we're going to be looking at our switch timer at the bottom, and we know that he switched out before us. So right when ours is almost about to get there, his is going to finish before ours. So when ours is about 95%, like right here, he's probably going to switch right now. He does. So I'm not clicking on my charge move. I'm farming it down. That's going to get our Azumarill extra energy. We have a Blast Burn ready on the Charizard. Going to use that on the Azumarill. And that's going to do a lot of damage there. And because the Azumarill is actually so low, it has to farm up a lot of energy in order to win. So we could just go for the Dragon Claw here to win. But because we didn't fall for that sack swap, we ended up winning this match despite losing the lead. So fortunate for us there. TQ Zahia is up next. And in this matchup, we are going to run into another Meganium lead. So this is all from the same set. So first 3 matches, we had an unfavorable lead in all 3 of them. And so far, we're 2-0. Here we're going to switch into the Tropius. Our opponent switches out into the Registeel. So this is an interesting matchup. And what I'm trying to do here is just go for as many charge. I should have went for a Leaf Blade, to be honest, because it requires less energy. But what we want to do is go for as many charge moves as we can so that we can burn that timer. And once it's available for us to switch back in, we're instantly going to switch back into the Azumarill. So I'm just going for Leaf Blades here, trying to spam them, waste as much time as I possibly can here. Timer is almost up. And at this point, I'm going to have to shield here because I need to keep my Tropius alive. I'm expecting him to have an Azumarill in the back, to be honest. And the timer's up. I'm going to farm up for enough for a Leaf Blade, switch out into the Azumarill, tank this Flash Cannon. So this is great. The Meganium is going to come back in, and we're going to go for the Play Rough. And they're almost certainly going to think this is an Ice Beam, so they're going to shield. Even though we don't have Ice Beam, they have to shield this. And they do. They could have probably survived it, but you don't want to take that kind of damage, especially when you have 2 shields. So they do fall for the bait. And now I'm going to let this Frenzy Plant go through, and he's not going to expect a Charizard in the back because we switched into the Tropius. So Charizard comes in, and this is most likely going to be a Frenzy Plant. It's not going to do anything. Earthquake as well isn't going to do a lot of damage. They're both going to be resisted by Charizard. So he actually gets off 2 Frenzy Plants. That's fine. This is going to put us in the yellow, but we're still very good. About 50% health. Oh, less, like 60. But we could farm down here. And let's see what he chooses to bring in now. It is the Azumarill as expected. I'm going to bring in the Tropius, go for this Leaf Blade, expect the shield here. And he is likely going to bring back in the Registeel here. No, he chooses not to. Wow. So we're going to get to another Leaf Blade before he gets to an Ice Beam here. And that's going to do a nice amount of damage. And we still have a shield. He switches into the Registeel. And Registeel can only hurt this Tropius with charge moves. So what I have to do here is over farm with the Tropius so I have enough Leaf Blades for that Azumarill. We're going to win the CMP because Tropius has a higher attack stat. So I will KO the Registeel here before we get off a charge move, which is critical. He actually didn't get off a charge move, which is even better for us because now we get to shield this Ice Beam. So it played out a little differently than I expected. And the Ice Beam is going to be shielded, of course. We're going to go for this Leaf Blade. And what I want to do here is switch in my Charizard to absorb this Ice Beam if I can. But the Leaf Blade's enough. But if it had not been enough, we would have switched into the Charizard to absorb that Ice Beam and then bring back in the Tropius. But 3-0 so far. U66 Itachi is up next. And he's leading Haunter. So this is the 4th game in a row in which we've lost the lead. And Haunter is a glass cannon. However, its charge moves do a lot of damage. And that Shadow Claw is also. So here, I was expecting this to be a Shadow Punch, to be honest. It's actually a Shadow Ball, which is a little bit worse for us. So I'm going to go for the Play Rough. We have to burn a shield here at least. And had that been a Shadow Punch, we would have been in a much better situation. But he actually switched out into the Azumarill to tank that hit. So again, I didn't see the switch, but he saves the shield, has energy on his Haunter, and brings in the Azumarill to tank that hit. Amazing. But he did lock himself in here, which is going to allow me to bring in the Tropius. The only problem here is that I'm likely going to have to burn both shields because that Ice Beam is really going to hurt Tropius. So we get his first shield. We will generate energy quicker though and get to these Leaf Blades. So let's see if he chooses to burn a second shield. Okay, so this is going to be an Ice Beam. And we're going to have to shield this, of course. And now he brings back in the Haunter. And it's going to get to a charge move. This is not going to KO though. And he did go for Shadow Ball, which is crazy. We're going to switch out into the Azumarill, try to farm down, which we managed to do, thankfully. And he brings back in the Azumarill. I'm able to get to a Play Rough, which is excellent for us. So this is going to put that Azumarill in a really bad spot. and we faint down. This is going to have a lot of energy, so I'm going to bring in the Tropius, which has a Leaf Blade ready. Thankfully, this Leaf Blade is going to KO the Azumarill, and let's see what he has in the back. Is it going to be a Registeel? Oh, a little unfortunate battery there. It is a Registeel. Didn't get off the Leaf Blade, that's fine. Charizard's in a really good position here. The Registeel does have an energy lead, so it is likely going to get to 2 charge moves, but all we need is 1 Blast Burn to win this match. And he actually got to a 2nd charge move really quickly. I don't know how that happened, but he had a lot of energy apparently. And that's not going to KO, thankfully, because it was a Flash Cannon instead of the Focus Blast. And this Blast Burn is going to be enough, so we're going to end up taking our 4th win in a row despite losing 4 leads in a row. Millhouse Zazil is the 5th match of this set, and in this one we don't necessarily lose the lead. It is a mirror match, but this would be favorable for us if the opponent is not running Play Rough. So 4 lost leads and 1 mirror match here. We're going to go for the Play Rough. I tend to farm up until the Hydro Pump first to see if they go for the Play Rough, to see if they're running it or not. In this case, it doesn't look like they are. So this is likely going to be a Hydro Pump, I'd assume. Oh no, it is a Play Rough. Okay, so again, we didn't win this lead either. It's a pure mirror match. So 5 matches without winning a single lead. We're going to go for the Play Rough here. That's going to go through. I may have the higher attack stat possibly here at 9 attack IV. So this Azumarill is going to go for Play Rough again. And if he does have a lower attack stat, he may switch here, which he did, as expected. So we didn't use our energy because I assumed he was going to switch because his attack stat may be lower. So we save our energy. He brings in the Registeel, locks himself into this matchup. We bring Charizard here. So amazing situation for us. And I'm going to go for the Blast Burn here. Even if it's shielded, that's fine. But I'm not really expecting a shield to come through. He lets it go through. So amazing for us. Azumarill comes back in. And we actually go for the Dragon Claw here. This is going to KO unless he shields. So he's definitely going to have to shield here, which he does. And farms us down with the bubble. Now, if I had Razor Leaf on the Tropius, well, actually, it looks like he had energy anyways. So it's actually a Play Rough. And that's my mistake here. I knew that he had Play Rough, and it's unlikely he's running Ice Beam as well. So I made a mistake in shielding that. I definitely should not have shielded. And that would have done okay damage to us, but we don't really need the Tropius anymore because the Azumarill's gone. So I definitely made a huge mistake in shielding that. And we're going to go for the Leaf Blade here against Altair. This is a really bad position for us. But we have an Azumarill in the back with energy, and this Altair is so low that we should win this game. And here I make a second mistake. I shield the Tropius again. I wasted 2 shields on a Tropius against Altair. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but that's going to cost us this match. Because if I just saved the shield for the Azumarill, I would have got to 2 Play Roughs. And we would have been able to take this 5th match most likely. Because look how close we are to another Play Rough. We could have definitely got there. So by using that shield on the Tropius, we definitely cost ourselves a match. And we could have went 5-0. Instead we're going to go 4-1. But either way, these are a couple of matches in which we played through bad leads. They're a lot more playable, I feel, in Great League than in Master League. And you can still win matches despite being hard countered in the lead match. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, commenting, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.